Hello, welcome back to some 1969 APBA baseball action. Today we have the Baltimore Orioles in Fenway to take on the Boston Red Sox. This is game number 3 of 4. So far they have split the first 2. The Red Sox overall are 4-3, Baltimore 6-2. Those of you who are familiar with 1969 know that the Orioles are a powerhouse this year. So hoping they don't run away with it right off the bat. Red Sox did win the last game, so hopefully they'll persevere. They have the disadvantage on pitching as Dave McNally is going for the Orioles, and Ken Brett, who had a good first game, but not a great year in '69, is going for the Red Sox. Both pitchers are left-handed hitters. So Ken Brett is a CW, so he's a bit wild. He has a 5, which is a high D as in dog, but he will be spending some time in the C, I'm sure. Leading off, as you can see, he's 1-0 with a 1 ERA with a complete game, so he had a good first game. Let's see how he does here in game number 2 against these powerhouse Orioles. Leading off will be Don Buford, hitting .321, couple runs driven in, 2 doubles. Versus left-handed pitching, he's a -4, so that will improve Brett to a D or a C as in cat. And here we go. So I remembered, another steak dinner for me. And here we go. So 52 is a 27. That's hit down to Scott, who is a 4, which will be 2 column, which doesn't really matter. Not an X, so that'll be a ground ball to Scott. He'll throw on to Harrelson, out number 1. Round out 5-3, and this game is underway. Center fielder Paul Blair hitting .324, 3 home runs, 5 runs driven in, couple doubles and a triple. He hasn't walked yet, but other than that, he's having a great offensive year. Versus left-handed pitching, he's a +1, so that'll keep Brett as a D as in dog. 1 out, nobody on. 56, 34, the Red Sox are a 2. So 34, he's not a Y either. That's popped up on the infield. Petrocelli will wave everyone off and squeeze it for out number 2. So quickly 2 away here in the Oriole first, and that brings Frank Robinson to the plate, Hall of Famer. He's hitting .333, 1 home run, 3 runs driven in, 3 doubles, walked 4 times. So this whole Oriole team, as you can see, is off to a good start. Versus lefty, he's a +8, so that will make Brett a -3. But unfortunately, a D is as low as you can go. So here is the delivery. 2 out, nobody on. 24, and that's going to be a strikeout swinging. So that's just the second time Frank Robinson has struck out. But Brett gets him to end the inning. As they go in order, we've got a half inning in the books. Baltimore nothing, Red Sox coming to bat. On the mound for the Orioles is Dave McNally. He is 2-0 with a 1.50 ERA so far, so he's off to a great start. He's a left-hander, BYZ, 13 on the master rating, which is right in the middle of the B as in boy range. No home run modifiers. So he'll start with Reggie Smith, who's hitting .407, 2 home runs, 6 runs driven in. The Red Sox are just in from a trip to Cleveland, and actually they started the year in Baltimore, so this is the second matchup for these 2 teams already. So Reggie Smith, right-handed hitter, versus the lefty McNally. 52 rather, and that's a ground ball down to the third baseman Brooks Robinson, and he plays that with no problem. Out number 1. Out 5-3. 1 away. Mike Andrews, second baseman, will be up next. He's hitting .346. It looks like the Red Sox are off to a good offensive start as well. Versus the lefty, he's a -8. So even though he's a righty, he prefers righties. So that will make a 21 AC out of McNally. 51 is a 9, and that's going to be grounded to Mark Belanger at second, or at shortstop rather, and he sets and throws for out number 2. Carl Yastrzemski with 2 out, nobody on. He's off to a slow start. He is doing much better in this series, so he's hitting 160, 1 home run, 5 runs driven in. So it looks like he might be getting out of his early season slump. However, versus lefties, he's a -11, so that will make a 24 AC out of McNally. 46, and he strikes out swinging. So strikeout swinging. The Red Sox go in order as well, and we played 1, no score. 4, 5, and 6 due up for Baltimore. Leading off will be Boog Powell, left-handed hitting first baseman, hitting .345, 1 home run, 7 runs driven in, and a double. Versus left-handed pitching, he's a -4, so that'll make a 9 C out of Brett. Brett looks into Moses for the sign, and here is the pitch. 32, and that's going to be grounded to Andrews at second base. He will play it on the short hop and throw on to first to get Boog Powell plenty of time, as Boog Powell is not very fleet of foot. 4-3 on the putout, 1 out. Brooks Robinson will be up next, third baseman, extraordinaire, hitting .226. He does have 4 home runs, however, driven in 6. Versus lefties, he's a -3, so that'll make a C out of Brett. C as in cat. 46, and that's going to be hit out the other way to right field. Canigliaro out there, that would be Billy Canigliaro, would get to it for out number 2. So first 5 retired in order for Ken Brett. And that brings up Andy Etchebarren, and he's hitting .400 with a run driven in. In part-time duty at catcher versus left-handers, he's a -4, so that'll keep Brett at a C. 2 out, nobody on. 56, 34, and again they are a 2. And Y is, he's no Y, so that's popped up on the infield. Petrocelli will step out into the left center field and wave off Yastrzemski, and he'll take it in shallow center or left field for the 3rd out. So for the second inning in a row, the Orioles go in order. We go to the home half of the second, still no score. We got 4, 5, and 6 scheduled up for Boston. Leading off will be Ken Harrelson, playing first base today. He's hitting a .143 with a couple home runs. Versus lefties, he's a +2, so that'll be an 11. Still a B as in boy for McNally. 51, and he's going to draw a walk. That's his 3rd walk of the year. That's the first base runner for either team. Harrelson on first, nobody out. He is of average running ability, according to the APBA gurus. And that will bring George Scott to the plate. He's hitting a .136, a couple runs driven in. Versus lefties, he's a +2. That'll be still a B as in boy for McNally. Here is the pitch. 54, and that's hit out to right field. Frank Robinson will take a few steps to the infield, and he'll catch it with no problem with 2 hands, as they did in those days. And Harrelson will retreat to first, 1 away. Rico Petrocelli, he's hitting .211 with 1 home run. Versus left-handers is a -6, so that'll be 19. That'll move McNally to a 19, which will improve him to an A as an apple. Here is McNally with the delivery. Petrocelli right-handed hitter. 54. That's another fly ball out to right field. This one toward right center field. Robinson will catch that one on the run for out number 2. Harrelson once again will retreat to first base and 2 away. Fly out 9. Two out, runner on first for Billy Canigliaro. That's not a great card. This is actually his, he's got an RBI, a sacrifice fly looks like, and limited play so far. But we'll go ahead and live with that. Not the best card. I think that was a rookie card in 69. All right, versus left-handed pitching, he's a -4, so that would be +4, 17. That'll keep McNally at an A. 23, and he strikes out swinging. So big backdoor curve there from McNally, and Canigliaro is not able to catch up to it. And that'll do it for the Red Sox. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 runner left. Go to the third, no score. 7, 8, and 9 scheduled for the Orioles here in their half of the third. Leading off will be Davey Johnson, second baseman, right-handed hitter, 375, 5 runs driven in, a couple doubles. Versus left-handed pitching, he's a +3, which will keep Brett at a D as in dog. Here is his, 66. He gave Johnson 1 to hit. Let's see what Johnson does with it. And that's high, and that is hit deep to left center field. And that one's over the wall. So that one climbed high enough to get out of here. And that's the first home run of the year for Johnson.
Back, gone.
That was 266 in a row. You don't see that very often. So 6 run driven in for Mr. Johnson, and the Orioles are up 1-0. So first home run, 6th RBI. All right, that brings up Mark Belanger hitting 370. He's generally a light hitting shortstop, but as you can see, he had a pretty good year offensively. Versus lefties, he's a 0, so that'll keep Brett at a D as in dog. That's the second home run of the year given up by Brett. He actually has the L modifier, so he'll give up more than his fair share of taters. 35 is a 9, and that's going to be a single. Hit out over the shortstop. Petrocelli won't get to it, and that one will find some turf in outfield. Yastrzemski will throw it back in. And Belanger's on first with no out. He is fast, so we'll give him the green token. So I think McNally's up. He will be looking for a bunt. Everybody in the ballpark figures that's what he will do, and that is indeed what he's going to try to do. 42, and he fouls off the first one. Try again. 36, 33, and that's going to be hit a little hard to Brett. He's going to go to short, and Petrocelli will get the ball just in time to catch the speedy Belanger. He makes a good slide, and so Petrocelli not able to get it on to first, so that'll be a fielder's choice as McNally fails to get the bunt down. So fielder's choice, 1-6. McNally is of average running ability. We got 1 out. So 1-6. Fielder's choice on the bunt. So runner on first for Don Buford. Buford grounded out to George Scott at third in his first at bat of the game. Versus left-handers, he's a -4, so that will be +4. That'll make a C out of Brett. Runner on first. 1 out, 1 run already in thanks to the Davey Johnson home run. And that's a 14. That's hit out to left fielder Yastrzemski. and he will take that just shy of the green monster for out number 2. Buford hit that one a mile high. 2 away for Paul Blair. He popped out to short in his first effort of the game. +1, so that'll make keep Brett at a D. Got 2 out. McNally on first with average speed. 1 run in. 56. And they are 234. That's popped up on the infield once again as Blair gets under a high fastball for the second time in a row. And the same result as Petrocelli squeezes it to end the inning. They do get 1 run on 2 base hits, no errors. They leave a runner on. We go to the home after the third. Baltimore up 1-0. 8, 9, and 1 scheduled up for Boston. Catching today is Jerry Moses. This will be his first action of 1969. Versus left-handed pitching, he's a -7, so that'll make a 20A as an apple out of McNally. As you can see, Moses did have a good year at 304 in limited playing time, but not good versus the lefties, even though he is a right-handed pitcher. 44, and that's going to be slapped to left field. So he's able to overcome the left-handed pitching and get his first base hit on his first at-bat. So that brings up Ken Brett. Moses is of average speed for a catcher. So Brett's going to try to lay one down here, I believe. Of course, he hit 300, but he only batted 10 times, and he had a home run. That's an interesting option, isn't it? I'll tell you what, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, he bunts. So that's a... Okay, so he's going to hit away. The decider die has spoken. So runner on first, nobody out. Ken Brett, they got the corners in, but Ken Brett's going to pull the bat back and see what he can do versus a left-handed pitcher. He's a -1, so that's +1, so that'll keep McNally at a B. 12, that's trouble. 25, they are a 1, and that's hit down to Johnson at second. Fires on to Belanger, who fires on to Powell. 4-6-3 double play. So the strategy did not pay off that time. Out 4-6-3 double play. So 2 out, nobody on for Reggie Smith. Dick Williams, the Red Sox manager, who doesn't finish the year as he gets canned toward the end of the year, probably didn't get much credit for that one because that one didn't work out at all. But anyway, 2 out for Reggie Smith versus lefties. He's a +5, so that would be a minus. Let's see, lefties +5 -5 will be an 8, so that'll move McNally all the way down to a C. As Reggie Smith likes the left-handed pitchers. 54, and that's slapped out to right field. Frank Robinson will take it with no problem, and that'll end the inning. So in essence, they go in order, even though they did have a hit. Their first base hit of the game, by the way. Nobody left on. We go to the top of the fourth. Baltimore Orioles 1, Boston Red Sox 0. I find I'm kind of rooting for the Red Sox on this because, again, I don't want the Orioles to run away with it. But they have the potential. They were probably one of the best teams ever, in my opinion. All right, Frank Robinson versus left-handed pitching is a +8. So -8 will make a -3 out of Brett, which will be a D. Robinson struck out in his first at-bat, struck out swinging. 64, and that's a ground ball down to George Scott. He will field it in the hole, fire across his body for out number 2, or out number 1 rather, getting Robinson by a hair. Even though Frank is getting up there in years, he's still able to move. One away. Boog Powell, he grounded out to second base, his first effort of the game. Versus lefties, a -4, +4, so that'll make a C out of Brett. 13, and Boog draws a walk, his sixth walk of the season. First one given up today by Brett. He walked 4 in his first game. So Boog Powell with the free pass. He is slow of foot, so he gets the red, and the Orioles will play it safe with him. Brooks Robinson, he flew out to right field in his first at bat. 1 out. Boog Powell with slow speed on first. Versus lefties is a -3, so that'll be a C for Brett. 53-19, that's usually not good. His third baseman is a 4, but still. 53-19. Okay, so if they were 2 outs, that would have been a ground ball. But as it is, that's going to be a single to left, runner to second. So Scott not able to play that one. Let's see. Brooks Robinson would have. So that's interesting. But anyway, so 2 outs that he would have made the play. But as it is, he's not able to get to that one. And Brooks Robinson with a single. Boog Powell heads to stopped at second. Runners on first and second, and 1 out. Both runners are slow, so they both will play it safe. We got 1 out for Andy Etchebarren. Versus left-handed pitching, he's a -4, so +4 makes a 9. C for Brett. .42, that's a crazy play. 38 on 2. Okay, safe at first. 1 runner to third, the other to second is injured, sliding, out for 3 games. So out 5-4 on the fielder's choice. So it looks like Brooks Robinson. Now I don't, because I'm doing as played, I don't do the injuries for the 3 games, but I do take them out of the game, if there is an injury. So Brooks Robinson is going to be hurt, so that's a Etchebarren on a 5-4 fielder's choice. 5-4 as Scott makes that play. So we'll have to, again, he's retired. So 5-4, out number 2, fielder's choice for Etchebarren. So Etchebarren is average. So with 2 outs, the slow runner on third, they're going to play business as usual with everybody. So Dave Johnson is up. He hit a home run in his first at bat, his first home run of the season. Versus lefties, he's a +3, so that'll make a D as in dog out of Brett. 2 out, runners on the corners. 24, and he strikes him out swinging. So Brett does a good job of coming through there in the clutch. 2, 3. Striking out Davey Johnson after he gave a home run up to him in the third. But he strikes out swinging to end the inning. They get no runs on a hit, no errors. They leave 2 on. And we go to the bottom of the 4th, 1-0 Baltimore. So let's see who we can get to take Brooks Robinson place at third. So Oral Weaver calls on Bobby Floyd to take third base. He is a 3 at third, whereas Robinson was a 6. So that's going to drop their infield and their overall rating down to a 2 from a 1. So that could play into the game some. All right, we go to the bottom of the 4th. Orioles up by 1. Mike Andrews, we got 2, 3, and 4 scheduled for Boston. Andrews grounded out to short his first at bat. Versus lefties, he's a -8, which would be a +8, which is a 21. So again, Andrews prefers the right-handed pitching. So that'll make McNally an A and a C. 41-24. That's grounded down to Belanger at short, and he'll make that play with no problem. One away. Ground out 6-3. Oop, wrong color on my pen. 6-3. So that's second time he's grounded out to Belanger. Carl Yastrzemski versus lefties is a -11. That's 24. So that'll be an AC for McNally. One out, nobody on. 53, that's 17. That's going to be a check on the right fielder. Robinson is a 2. 17-2, and that's going to drop for a hit. So Yastrzemski finds a hole just out of Frank Robinson's reach. Second hit today for the Red Sox. Yastrzemski is of average running ability. That brings Ken Harrelson to the plate. He walked in his first at bat, so one out. Yastrzemski on first versus lefties is a +2, so -2. That's an 11 still for McNally, which is a B. 43-29. There are 2 now. He's a Y, so that's going to be a strikeout swinging. So McNally with a high heat, and Harrelson not able to catch up to it. Goes down swinging for out number 2. Third strikeout today for McNally. And it's up to George Scott versus left-handers. He's a +2, -2. That'll be an 11. Still a B for McNally. Uh-oh. There's one, a hanger. I got 3 6s. Not that it matters, but let's see what Scott can do with this one. He's got some power. 43, a 6 on a B. And that's going to be a double down the third base line. Yastrzemski is not fast, but there are 2 out. So he was going on contact. So Yastrzemski's going to score. Scott will be in with his first double of the year, and we have a tie ball game. So Yastrzemski chugging around third is able to score. George Scott with a double. Again, his first double of the season. And an RBI. And again, we are tied at 1. George Scott is fast. So he will be on the go-ahead run at second. 2 out. For Rico Petrocelli versus lefties is a +2, -2. It's still a B as in boy. So McNally trying to get out of this pickle with just the 1 run. Petrocelli flew out to Frank Robinson in his first at bat. 56-34. Again, they are a 2. And that's popped up on the infield. Davey Johnson will signal that he has it, and he takes it, and that'll do it. But the Red Sox get a run on 2 base hits, and they leave a runner on. After 4 here at Fenway Park, we are tied at 1. 8-9-1 due up for Baltimore in the 5th. Mark Belanger will lead things off, right-handed hitting shortstop versus lefties. He's a 0, so that'll keep Brett as a D as in dog. Belanger has a single, so he's up to 393 for the year. 46-29, and that's bounced back to the mound. Brett fields his position well and throws him out for the first out of the inning. That brings Dave McNally, who failed to get a bunt down in his first at bat of the game. Versus lefties, he's a -2, so that'll make a C out of Brett. There goes the die everywhere. 12-25, and that's grounded to Andrews at second base. As McNally's a little tardy on a fastball, and he will throw him out for the second out of the inning. So 2 out for Buford, who is 0 for 2 versus lefties. He's a -4, so that's a +4, which will be a 9. Still a C. 2 out, nobody on. Buford 0 for 2 today. 25 is an 8 on a C, and that's a single to left field, left center field rather. So he hits that on a line. Yastrzemski will go over to the left center field gap to cut it off. Fire back into second, holding Buford to a single. 2-out single for Buford. And he is fast. Paul Blair, who is 0 for 2, will take his place in the right-handed batter's box. He will keep Brett at a D, as he prefers lefties a little bit. He's popped out twice to Petrocelli at short, so he probably would like to hit it a little further than shortstop this time. 21, and he does, but still, Yastrzemski is there, and he will squeeze it for the 3rd out of the inning. So not to jinx him, but Ken Brett is overperforming once again, so no runs hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. Bottom of the 5th, 1-1. Got 7, 8, and 9 up for the Red Sox here in their half of the 5th. McNally on for his 5th inning of work. We'll start with Canigliaro versus lefties is a -4. That's a +4. That's a 17. So that'll make an A out of McNally, as Canigliaro prefers the right-handed pitchers. He struck out his first at bat. 23, and he strikes out once again swinging. So McNally with a nice changeup there, and the rookie fooled by that one. Swings over the top of it. Out number 1. That's the 4th strikeout for Dave. 1 out. Jerry Moses. Again, he had a single in his first at bat of the year. Versus lefties is a -7. +7's a 20. So that'll be an A for McNally. 63, and that's lofted out to center field. Paul Blair will chase it down for out number 2. Fine fielding center fielder Blair is, so he was able to track that down for the 2nd out of the inning. And that'll give us the pitcher, Ken Brett. Lefties -1, 14, so that'll be a B for, as in boy, for McNally. Again, Brett does have some pop. 34, and that's hit another fly ball out to center field. That's a can of corn, and Blair will come on toward the infield and catch it with 2 hands, as they did in those days, for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Red Sox go in order in the 5th. And after 5, 1-1. 3, 4, and 5 up for the Orioles. Frank Robinson is 0 for 2. Again, versus lefties is a +8, so that will make D as in dog out of Brett. 55, 8, and that's a single to left center field. So Frank Robinson with his first hit of the game, the 5th hit of the game for the Orioles. He is fast. 1 out, runner on first. Boog Powell is walked and grounded out to second. -4, +4, so he'll be a C, Brett will. Boog Powell definitely a double play candidate, but also a 2-run home run candidate as well. 44, 7 on a C. That's going to be a single to right field as he pulls it in between Andrews and Harrelson. Robinson with good speed will make it to 3rd as Canigliaro throws it into 2nd. And the Orioles have him on the corners with no out. Looks like Brett might be facing himself here. Runners on the corners. I think I'll pull the infield in. Boog Powell is slow. Robinson is fast. And then we've got Floyd, who came in for Brooks Robinson, who was injured, slightly sliding into second base back in the 4th. So he's 0 for 3 so far. The infield in versus lefties. He's a +2, which will make a D as in dog out of Brett. Infield in. Here is the pitch. 45, and that's going to be a walk. So he's going to walk Floyd. Not what you wanted to do, as he's one of the weaker hitters in the lineup now. So Ken Brett is tired, according to Stratomatic. But I think that this early in the game, and it just 1-1, I think probably in 69 they would have let him see what he could do. So the base is jammed. That's the second walk issued by Brett. Andy Etchebarren will come up with the bases loaded. And we're still going to have the infield in. Floyd, let's see, Floyd is average in his running ability. So they're going to play it safe with Powell at second. Again, it's 1-1, and he's slow. So everybody else is business as usual. Powell will be playing it safe. Etchebarren versus lefties is a -4, which is +4, so that'll make a C out of Brett. And here we go. Big at bat here. 63-31. That's hit to center field. Smith is a 3. And that's not going to be deep enough to get the run in. So shallow center field. Smith running on. Catches it on the run. Waist high. Fires it in to Moses, and Robinson will hold at third. So that is a big, big out. Etchebarren not able to get it deep enough to get Robinson home. So 1 out. And that'll give us Davy Johnson. So now they're going to do the corners in. Try to get the double play up the middle. Again, Davy Johnson has homered and struck out. Bases loaded versus lefties. He's a +3, which will be a D as in dog for Brett. Another big at bat here as Brett's trying to get out of this pickle. 51. I don't think that's going to do it. That's a single over first as Johnson takes it the other way. Runners advance 1 base. So that one that was hit out toward Conigliaro, and they had to hold up to see if he was going to catch it or not. And it drops in, and so everybody's just able to advance 1 base on that one. So Johnson, with his second RBI of the year, gives him second on the day, gives him his seventh of the year. RBI, that gives us Mark Belanger, with the bases still loaded. So Powell is at third. Actually, he would have only been able to make it to third anyway, as we were playing it safe. See, Davy Johnson is average 2. So they're going to do business as normal with him on third. Be a little bit more aggressive. Let's see. We're gonna let him pitch to Belanger here. Maybe risky, but see what he can do. So again, versus lefties, Belanger's a 0, so that'll keep Brett at a D as in dog. 36, 33, they are a 2. And that's a line drive hit to Harrelson. He stabs it, and now all the runners are able to get back. So that's a line out 3 for out number 2. So Brett 1 out from getting out of a pickle. He's given up 1 so far. So again, business as usual. Not playing it safe. -2. So that'll be a C for Brett. 2 out. Bases loaded. Again, nobody playing it safe. McNally has hit into a fielder's choice and grounded out to second. 31, and he walks. Oh man. Oh, that'll get the Boo Birds going. So bases loaded, walk to the pitcher. Not what you want to do. That is one of Brett's issues this year, is that he is prone to the walk. All right, so Floyd is average, Johnson's average, and McNally's average. So everybody's average on the base pass, and I think this is going to be it for Mr. Brett. So I'll see who we can find in the bullpen. All right, the Red Sox wanted Vincent Romo, but he's not on the team yet, so they're going with Raymond Jarvis. He's a D pitcher with an R, so I got to remember that. No home run modifier. Right-handed pitcher. So far, he is pitched 3 innings with 3 ERA. No record yet. So he'll face switch-hitting Don Buford, who prefers versus righties. He's a 0, so that will keep Jarvis at a D as in dog. Bases loaded. 2 out. Buford is 1 for 3 this afternoon as we have a day game here in Boston. 45-14, and he is not a Z, and he walks. So Buford with an RBI on the walk, his 3rd of the year, and it is 4-1 Red Sox. Or Orioles, I mean. Walk. So 2 walks in a row of walked-in runs. RBI for Buford. Buford is fast. So base is still loaded for Paul Blair. He's a -2.6, so that'll make a C out of Jarvis. Really needing this out here if they're going to have any kind of game. 46-29. They are a 2. He is not a Y, and so that's bounced back to the mound. Jarvis will walk it over to Harrelson, and that'll do it. So out, stay, 1-3. So the Orioles bat around. They get 3 runs on 1, 2, 3 hits. No errors. They leave the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It is now Baltimore Orioles 4, the Boston Red Sox 1. So McNally been given quite a lead here. It could have been much worse than that. So the Red Sox have the top of the order, trying to get back in this one. Reggie Smith is 0 for 2 versus lefties. He's a +5, -5. That'll knock McNally down to a C. And that's 34. That's fly ball out to center field. Paul Blair will take that with no problems. 1 away. Fly out 8. Mike Andrews is grounded out to short twice. -8 on the lefties. That's +8. That's 21. So an AC for McNally on this one. 25-8. And that's popped up on the infield. Headed back to the left field foul line and outfield. Floyd will wave everyone off and take it on the run for out number 2. So that's pop out 5. Carl Yastrzemski, 2 out, nobody on. He singled and scored. Again, -11. That'll be a 24 AC for McNally. 65, and that's a ground ball down to Powell. He'll wave off McNally, take it himself, and that'll do it for the Red Sox. It looks like McNally is in the zone, so that doesn't bode well for them. And no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the 7th, 4-1 Baltimore. 3, 4, and 5 scheduled for the Orioles. Frank Robinson led off last inning with a single and scored versus righties. He's a -5, so that'll make the C out of Jarvis. 64-12. That's grounded to George Scott. He will charge, play it on a short hop, and fire on to first for out number 1. Boog Powell has walked, singled, and scored. Versus righties, he's a 0, so that'll keep Jarvis at a D as in dog. 13, and he draws a walk. So walk number 2 given up to, that Boog Powell has drawn. That's the second walk Jarvis has given up since he's come into the game. Duke Powell is slow, but they'll go ahead and play business as usual with the big lead. So that brings Floyd to the plate versus righties. He's a -2, so that'll be a C. Here is the pitch. Right-handed pitcher versus right-handed batter. 1 away. 44-8 on a C. That's a single to center. Powell will stop at second. First base hit of the year for Floyd. The Orioles are threatening once again. So runners on first and second for Etchebarren versus right-handed pitchers. He's a +5, so that'll make a 0, -1 actually. So Powell slow, Floyd is average. Here is the pitch. 43, 29-2, and there's not 2 out, so that's a bouncer back to the mound. Hit hard. Jarvis spears it, fires on to Andrews, who fires on to Harrelson. An inning-ending 1-4-3 double play. So Red Sox needed that one. Out, stays 1-4-3. 7th inning stretch time. No runs, a hit, no errors. They leave a runner on. Time for our trivia question. Who won the NL MVP award in 2012? I'm ashamed to say I don't have any idea. So let's see who that was. Buster Posey. Giant catcher, I believe. So, bottom of the 7th. McNally has 4, 5, and 6 due up. Red Sox trying to get something going here. Ken Harrelson's walked and struck out. +2, -2. And that'll be an 11 for McNally, which will be a B. Here we go. 21, that's fly ball out to left field. Buford will take it toward the line, out number 1. Again, looks like McNally might be in the zone. If that's the case, Red Sox might be in trouble. +2, -2, that's a B for McNally. George Scott has a double and two at-bats. 51-9 on a B, and that's a single over short. So Scott is hitting a .167, helping his average today as he gets a 1-out single. So he's fast. 1 out. Rico Petrocelli is 0 for 2. Again, he's off to a slow start. He had a great year, as you can see there. 297, 40 bombs, 32 doubles, 98 walks. So he had a good year. So far, he's off to a slow one here. -6 is a +6, so that's a 19. So that'll be an A for McNally, as Petrocelli prefers the right-handed pitchers. 31-9 on an A, and that's going to be a little number down the third base line. Floyd charges, and he won't be able to field it cleanly, and they're going to give him an infield hit on that one as Scott makes it to second on the infield single, and the Red Sox got something going here. Scott's fast. Petrocelli is slow. So they're going to play it safe with Petrocelli. His run doesn't mean anything, so they don't want him getting thrown out. So that brings up Billy Canigliaro, who is 0 for 2, struck out twice, 1 away. -4 +4, 17. That'll be an A for McNally. Tying run on deck. 34, 31, that's a fly ball out to Blair in center field. He'll track it down. Scott will retreat to second base, 2 out. Two away, runners on first and second. With 2 outs, they're going ahead and not play it safe. Could be a little risky, but they're going to be a little aggressive here. Moses is 1 for 2. Again, this is his first start of the season. versus lefties is a -7, +7's a 20, so that'll be an A. 2 out, runners on first and second. Red Sox needing a clutch hit here. 26, and that's fly ball out to Buford, and he will go to left center field, wave off Blair, and grab it to end the inning. So they leave a couple on. Fly out 7. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the 8th. Still 4-1 Baltimore. So Jarvis is due up, so they're going to see if he can get through the inning. But he'll be on a short leash. He is facing the bottom of the lineup here. So Davy Johnson has a couple hits, however. Home run, it's RBI single. -3 +3, that'll be a 7C for Jarvis. Here is his delivery. 25 is an 8, and that's a single to left center field. So Davy Johnson, hitting over 400, gets his 3rd hit of the game. He is average speed at first. Mark Belanger, who is 1 for 3, -2, 6, so that'll be a C for Jarvis. Here is his pitch to Belanger. Oh, and he hangs one. And Belanger with a chance to do some damage here. 33, 2, and that's going to be hit down the left field line. That takes a funky hop. Mastrimski not able to get to it. And Belanger with good speed is going to try for 3rd. And here's the throw, and he's in safe. So Mark Belanger with his 2nd triple of the year. 4th run driven in. And it's 5-1 Baltimore. Yeah, when Belanger is hurting you, that you're in trouble with this team. So that may be it for Jarvis. We'll see what he can do with McNally. They're going to bring the corners in, of course. Runner on 3rd. Belanger is fast at 3rd. So nobody out. Infield in for McNally. 65 is a 35. They are a 2. He's not a W. So that's going to be pop out past 3rd base. Petrocelli is going to wave off Scott, and he'll take it for out number 1. So that's a pop out 6. 1 away for Don Buford. Let's see what the Red Sox got in the bullpen here. Most of their bullpen are lefties. Actually got 3 lefties and 1 righty. They got Sparky Lyle, who was their closer. So probably don't want to bring him on. Pizarro is pretty good, but he's a lefty. And the next 3 batters prefer lefties, so we're going to stick with Jarvis. See if he can get out of this pickle. So again, Buford switch hitter will be hitting left-handed. Infield in, 1 out. 0, so that'll be a D as in dog for Jarvis. And here is the pitch. 22, and that's going to be slapped over, let's see, 7. That's slapped over right field, and Belanger will score easily. Buford with his 4th RBI of the season, 2nd of the game. And it's 6-1 Red Sox or Orioles. Single run driven in, Paul Blair. So it looks like Jarvis may be on his own here at this point. You don't want to waste any more of your bullpen. So Blair versus righty, -2, so that'll be a C for Jarvis. Buford is fast on first, 1 out. Blair is 0 for 4. 53-16, that's the center fielder, who is Smith, who is a 3. And that's going to fall for a single. This one I never did understand. I guess there's a rhyme or reason to it. So this one actually, if you're a fielding 2, it's better than fielding 1. 1 is a single. If you're a 3, if you're a 2 outfielder, it's a fly out. So I assume that's not a typo, and there's some reason for it. I guess to maybe even things out, but at any rate, that's going to fall for a single. Buford will hold up at second. At first and second, and 1 out. You got Frank Robinson, who really likes the lefties. Again, the only other righty in the bullpen is not very good at all. Got both fast runners on the bases. So they're going to see what he can do with Robinson. He's a -5, so that'll make him a C at least. So Jarvis trying to keep this from getting any worse than it is. 41, that's a 24. I think that could be good stuff for the Red Sox. 24 on a 2, and that is that's hit down to second baseman Andrews. Hit hard, and he'll fire onto Petrocelli, onto first, and inning 4-6-3 double play. So he needed that one. Out 4-6-3. Oh, he stays 4-6-3. All right. 4-6. 4-6-3 double play. Again, I keep score, so bear with me. So they get 2 runs, 4 base hits, no errors. They leave 1 runner on. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-1 Baltimore Orioles. So McNally cruising along. You've got the pitcher spot, and there'll be a pinch hitter, of course. Sid O'Brien's been called on to pinch hit. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout so far. He does have good speed. McNally looks into the sign versus lefties. He's a -5. So he actually prefers righties, oddly enough. -5, that's +5. That's 18. So that'll make an A out of McNally. 56, 34, 2. He is a Y, so that's a strikeout swinging. So O'Brien goes down on the fastball. 1 away. Reggie Smith is 0 for 3. He'll take his place in the right-handed batter's box. +5, -5. Again, he'll make a C out of McNally. 16, 28, and that's a ground ball down to Belanger. And he will make the play with no problem. Out number 2. Mike Andrews is 0 for 3. -8, that's a 21, so that'll be an A and C for McNally. 12, 25, and that's a slow roller to second base. Johnson charges, makes a nice play to get him by half a step. So McNally cruising along. As they go in order in the 8th. We go to the top of the 9th. The Red Sox need to get him a new pitcher. So let's see who that will be. They decided to go with the left-hander Juan Pizarro. He is a B and a W, so he's a little wild. He's got a 13, which is a good master rating. No home run modifier. He'll start with lefty Boog Powell. Versus left-handers, he's a -4, 17, so that will improve Pizarro to an A. Boog Powell has walked twice, singled and scored. Here is the pitch. And I'm just making havoc everywhere. Let's try this again and finish it off here. So 55. He's an 8 on an A, and that's going to be popped up on the infield. George Scott will take it. 1 away. So pop out 5, 1 out. That brings up Bobby Floyd. Lefties is a +2, -2, 11. That'll keep Pizarro at a B. 1 for 1 with a walk is Floyd, since he came in to take up for Brooks Robinson. 32, and that's a ground ball to second baseman Andrews. He fields that one up the middle, makes a nice play to get Floyd by a step. 2 away. 4-3. Etchebarren, -4, +4, 17. That'll make an A out of Pizarro. 26, and that's a ground ball to short. Petrocelli will make this one with no difficulty to end the inning. So they go in order here in the 9th. We got 3, 4, and 5 up for Boston as they're trying to make a game of this. Bottom of the ninth, Carl Yastrzemski is singled in 3 plate appearances and scored. Versus McNally. Let's see, he's a lefty. Again, that makes a A and a C out of McNally, as Yastrzemski had a terrible time with left-handed pitching in '69, it would appear. 56, 34, 2, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout swinging, so big curve there. McNally starts that one over the inside of the plate, ends up on the outside of the plate. Yastrzemski not able to catch up to it. His 6th strikeout of the season, 1 away. Strikeout number 6 for McNally this afternoon. Ken Harrelson, +2, that'll be an 11. 24, and that's a strikeout looking. So McNally paints the outside corner with a fastball. Perhaps the home plate umpire a little generous as he's wanting to go to dinner. But strikeout looking nonetheless, so 2 out. It's up to George Scott. Scott's got a couple hits with an RBI and a double. +2, again, he'll be a B. McNally will be as in boy. 46, and he strikes him out swinging. So nice inside fastball, up and in. George Scott not able to catch up to it, and that'll do it as McNally strikes out the side to end the 9th. So there you have it. Baltimore, they look tough this year, I'm here to say. So let's check out our box score. Fix it to where you can see it. All right, so the Orioles get 6 runs on 12 hits, no errors. They improved to 7-2. They were 6-3 at this point in real life, so they're a game better. The Orioles, or the Red Sox rather, had 1 run on 5 hits, no errors. They dropped to 4-4, which is 1 worse than their real life 5-3 at this point. McNally improves to 3-0 with a 1.33 ERA, so he is off to a fantastic start. Ken Brett takes the loss. He falls to 1-1. His ERA drops to a 3.07. Probably the star today would have to be McNally. Of course, you could make an argument for Johnson, Davey Johnson. He had 3 hits, couple RBIs, and a home run. I think we'll go ahead and give it to him. He scored 2 runs as well. So if McNally had a shutout, I would have given it to him. But as it is, we'll give it to Davey Johnson, the star of the game, as he gets a certificate to a tailor here in beautiful Boston. All right, so there you have it. Some more 1969 action. And I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you next time.